security by
around and with a very well constructed affidavit with over 90% participation in the going around to the voters in that precinct, got a found a 14% flip of votes from John Russell to Ginny Brown Waite. And I actually got some mention in Mark Crispin Miller's book.
Well, I mean, look at this year in the Republican National Convention. I mean, it's obviously Mitt Romney is a corporate candidate.
The primary was obviously in the primary, which adds more fuel to this problem with the elections. When you looked at the Republican primary, there was shenanigans from day one. And no matter what the operation was, whether it was electronic voting machines or paper or whatnot, the cheating, it was rife with cheating. And I am for, because of my experiences, for a return to hand counting of paper ballots. At the precinct level. This is fundamental, as you mentioned earlier. Hand counting of paper ballots at the precinct level, and no electronic transmission other than a fax machine, and the official results are hand carried to the and posted at the precinct. There's numerous checks and balances. The most important check: the more people that are involved in the counting. Remember what Stalin said: "It's not who votes; it's he who counts the votes."
Yeah, absolutely.
The more people involved, that is your check. When you have more people involved in the actual counting of the votes, they come to agreement. It doesn't get any more democratic than that.
All right. Now, I totally agree with you on that. I don't think anyone would disagree, at least, and that would be a good proposal. I mean, to have hand.
I have an extensive, discussion on my website on election reform. I'm still working on the finance reform, but one can guess if I'm for.
What about, here's another thing about accountability, and this can go into voting in numerous areas. Nowadays, it seems like more and more the government has its cameras on us, but we, the people who are supposed to have the government work for us, we hire them, vote for them, etc., have the cameras actually on us more instead of our cameras on them. I think this might be a big issue in the decade coming up, because there have been a lot of incidences around the country where judges have stated that people do have the right to publicly video camera public servants while they're in public. I'm not talking about while they're behind their own house or anything like that, but I mean like...
we're talking policemen. We've had all kinds of incidents that have been fairly well publicized.
But the thing is, the judge will let this person go, but the fact is, before that even happens, this person has to spend a couple days in jail or something, or get falsely arrested, and then the cops never get in trouble, the ones that told them that they weren't allowed to record, and then put them in jail, even though the person is told by the judge that it wasn't any violation. And then other places, it's kind of going back and forth, and that could go to when people are counting votes. What about people being able to go into the voting precincts and record them voting? I mean, what's your stance? Shouldn't people in public areas bring their, do you think there should be some laws that protects people's rights to, video camera?
I think there may be a little bit, I don't know about that. I haven't gotten into that about as far as, I think videotaping the operation, like the process, but actually videotaping people voting, I think is, and I think that's occurred, news people have,
well,
done.
Yeah, I don't mean them voting, but counting the votes at the end.
Yeah.